Welcome to the Korean Peninsula, a land of contrasts, where ancient traditions meet modern technology. From the majestic mountains to the vibrant cities, this peninsula has a rich and complex history that spans over 4,000 years. Let's take a journey through time and explore the fascinating story of the Korean Peninsula. In the mists of time, on the easternmost tip of the Asian continent, a mighty kingdom rose to prominence. Ancient Korea, a land of contrasts, was a realm of majestic mountains, rolling hills, and vast rivers. For centuries, its people would live in harmony with nature, their lives shaped by the rhythms of the land and the whims of the gods. In the early days, the Korean Peninsula was home to numerous tribal groups, each with their own distinct culture and traditions. The first recorded dynasty, the Joseon, was founded around 2333 BCE by a legendary king named Dong-in. This mythical figure was said to have descended from heaven, bringing with him the sacred rice plant and the arts of civilization. As the centuries passed, the Korean Peninsula would become a battleground for various empires and dynasties. The Han Dynasty, which ruled China from 206 BCE to 220 CE, would exert significant influence over Korea, introducing Buddhism, Confucianism, and Chinese writing systems. The Three Kingdoms period, which spanned from 57 BCE to 668 CE, saw the rise of three major kingdoms, Goguryeo, Baekje, and Silla. During this tumultuous era, Korean kings would vie for power and prestige, engaging in fierce battles and forming alliances to protect their realms. The legendary King Gwanggaeto of Goguryeo, who ruled from 391 to 413 CE, is still remembered for his bravery and military prowess. His conquests expanded Goguryeo borders, earning him the title of the Great King. The Silla Kingdom, which would eventually unify Korea under one rule, was founded in 57 BCE by a prince named Hyeokgeose. According to legend, Hyeokgeose was born from an egg laid by a divine turtle and went on to become a great leader. Silla's capital city, Gyeongju, would become a cultural hub, attracting scholars and artists from across the peninsula. In 668 CE, King Munmu of Silla united the three kingdoms under one rule, marking the beginning of the unified Silla period. This era saw significant cultural and artistic achievements, including the development of metalwork, pottery, and Buddhist architecture. The famous Bulguksa Temple, built in 751 CE, is still revered today as a masterpiece of Korean architecture. However, this period of peace and prosperity would not last forever. The late 9th century saw the rise of the Goryeo dynasty, which would introduce Buddhism to Korea and establish a powerful centralized government. The Goryeo kings would also develop a unique writing system, known as Hangul, which is still used today. The Silla Kingdom, which would eventually unify Korea under one rule, was founded in 57 BCE by a prince named Hyeokgeose. According to legend, Hyeokgeose was born from an egg laid by a divine turtle and went on to become a great leader. Silla's capital city, Gyeongju, would become a cultural hub, attracting scholars and artists from across the peninsula. In 668 CE, King Munmu of Silla united the three kingdoms under one rule, marking the beginning of the unified Silla period. This era saw significant cultural and artistic achievements, including the development of metalwork, pottery, and Buddhist architecture. Despite its tumultuous past, ancient Korea left behind a rich cultural heritage that continues to inspire and captivate people around the world. Its legacy can be seen in its stunning architecture, vibrant art forms, and delicious cuisine. Today, Koreans proudly celebrate their shared history and heritage, knowing that their ancestors' struggles and triumphs have made them who they are. Despite its
The story of Korea's colonization, particularly under Japanese rule from 1910 to 1945, is one of resistance, cultural survival, and national identity. This period, often referred to as the Japanese occupation, reshaped the Korean peninsula in profound ways, leaving scars that continue to influence the region's politics, culture, and psyche today. The annexation, in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Korea, once known as the Joseon Kingdom, found itself at the center of geopolitical competition among larger imperial powers. Its strategic location between China, Japan, and Russia made it a coveted prize. Japan, emerging as a modernized and expansionist empire, sought to assert its dominance over Korea. The Russo-Japanese War 1905 resulted in Japan's victory over Russia, effectively positioning Japan as the primary foreign power in Korea. In 1905, Japan forced Korea into becoming a protectorate, stripping it of diplomatic sovereignty. By 1910, after years of political manipulation and military pressure, Japan officially annexed Korea, marking the beginning of a harsh colonial rule. Japanese rule and oppression. The Japanese colonial administration pursued aggressive policies aimed at assimilating Korea into the Japanese Empire. Land was confiscated from Korean farmers, often redistributed to Japanese settlers, or sold at exploitative prices. Japanese became the official language, and Koreans were encouraged to adopt Japanese names, customs, and culture. The education system was altered to indoctrinate Korean children with Japanese values, erasing Korean history and identity. Many of Korea's historical records and cultural artifacts were destroyed or taken to Japan. Labor exploitation was rampant, and many Koreans were forced into industrial labor in Japan or drafted into the Japanese military during World War II. A darker aspect of this period was the forced conscription of thousands of Korean women as comfort women, a euphemism for sexual slavery in military brothels across the Japanese Empire. This brutalization left deep psychological and cultural wounds that remain unresolved today. World War II and liberation. As World War II intensified, the Japanese Empire exploited Korea even more ruthlessly. Korean men were conscripted into the Japanese military, and the economy was geared towards the war effort. However, Japan's defeat in 1945 brought an abrupt end to its colonial empire. Korea's liberation from Japanese rule was bittersweet. While independence was finally achieved, the peninsula was soon divided along the 38th parallel by the United States and the Soviet Union, leading to the establishment of two separate government zones in the north and one in the south. This division set the stage for the Korean War 1950-1953 and the continued separation of the Korean people. Resistance and independence movements. Despite the heavy-handed oppression, Koreans continuously resisted Japanese rule, both at home and abroad. Resistance took many forms, from underground movements and guerrilla warfare to diplomatic efforts by exiled Koreans. One of the most significant acts of resistance was the March 1st movement in 1919. Inspired by President Woodrow Wilson's 14 points, which advocated for self-determination, Koreans staged mass peaceful protests across the country. The protests were brutally suppressed by Japanese forces, resulting in thousands of deaths, arrests, and imprisonments. However, the movement sparked a wave of nationalist sentiment and international awareness of Korea's plight. Exiled Korean leaders, such as Syngman Rhee and Kim Gu, continued their fight abroad, seeking support from Western nations and China. The Provisional Government of the Republic of Korea was established in Shanghai in 1919, though it struggled to gain recognition. The legacy of Japanese colonization in Korea is complex. On one hand, it accelerated modernization in core, introducing new infrastructure, education systems, and industrialization. On the other hand, the period is remembered for its brutality, the suppression of Korean culture, and the deep social and psychological scars it left on the Korean people. The question of historical reconciliation between Korea and Japan remains a contentious issue, particularly over topics like forced labor, comfort women, and the proper representation of this history in textbooks. The trauma of colonization continues to influence Korean identity politics and relations with Japan to this day. Yet, the resilience of the Korean people throughout this period, their resistance to cultural erasure, and their ultimate survival as a nation are testaments to their strength. The narrative of Korea's colonization is not just one of subjugation, but also of defiance, survival, and the enduring struggle for self-determination.
The Korean Peninsula, once a battleground, now stands as a beacon of hope and reconciliation. After years of conflict, the two Koreas have laid down their arms, and the war is finally over. In the aftermath of the conflict, a new generation of Koreans has emerged, united in their desire for peace and prosperity. Its divided peninsula is now a symbol of cooperation, as North and South Korea work together to rebuild and restore their shared homeland. New cities are rising from the ashes, and old ones are being revitalized, with modern infrastructure and cutting-edge technology. People from all walks of life are coming together, sharing stories and laughter, and forging new bonds. The rich cultural heritage of Korea is being preserved and celebrated as people from both sides work together to promote understanding and unity. As the sun sets on the Korean peninsula, it shines bright on a new era of peace and rebirth. The war is over, but the journey to a brighter future has just begun.
The world's 10th largest economy with a gross domestic product of $1.6 trillion. A national income per capita of over $30,000 for 4 consecutive years. The world's 7th largest exporter, surpassing the $500 billion mark for 4 consecutive years. The following are the indicators the international community uses to describe the Republic of Korea. The Republic of Korea is pursuing efforts to fulfill the roles and responsibilities worthy of one of the world's 10th largest economies. Risen from the ashes of war, the Republic of Korea achieved the so-called miracle on the Han River and turned the 1997 Asian financial crisis into an opportunity for further economic development. And 30 years ago,
وبذلك أعلن قبول جمهورية كوريا الديمقراطية الشعبية وجمهورية كوريا بعضوية الأمم المتحدة.
Membership in the United Nations set the path for the Republic of Korea to actively contribute to the international community as a proud member. The Republic of Korea's nameplate was placed in the General Assembly Hall, and its national flag, Taegukgi, was hoisted in front of the headquarters of the United Nations. In 1995, the World Bank took the Republic of Korea off its list of aid recipients. And the following year,
우리나라가 드디어 오늘 경제 선진국 그룹 OECD에 가입했습니다.
The Republic of Korea met the membership criteria of the OECD Development Assistance Committee by contributing over $100 million in official development assistance and became its 24th member in 2009, successfully transformed from an aid recipient to a donor country. The Republic of Korea is the only DAC member that was once one of the least developed countries in the world. This unique experience empowers the Republic of Korea to serve as a link between donors and recipients, going beyond simply providing assistance where it's needed. As the host of the 2010 G20 summit, the Republic of Korea led the adoption of the Seoul Leaders' Declaration and is increasing efforts to address global economic issues and the climate crisis, thereby solidifying its standing as a global leader.
Growing from one of the poorest countries in the world half a century ago to the world's 10th largest economy and 7th largest exporter, Korea provides a truly inspirational example of how sound economic policies and investing in future growth engines can drive successful economic development.
The Republic of Korea's economy already vies with the world's most advanced nations. In 2018, the Republic of Korea became the 7th country to break the $600 billion mark in exports, and its export volume and fundamentals have bolstered even more since then. While the COVID-19 pandemic is posing significant challenges to the global economy, the Republic of Korea is strengthening its position as an active player in international trade thanks to its manufacturing competitiveness, solid growth of its main export items, and diversification of markets. Furthermore, the Republic of Korea is also accelerating efforts to promote new businesses and technologies to bring forth digital transformation and green transformation. Accordingly, in the European Union's Innovation Scoreboard, the Republic of Korea ranked first among global competitors such as the US, Japan, China, and the countries of Europe for 9 years. The Republic of Korea also ranked first in the world in the Bloomberg Innovation Index. The international community acknowledges these indicators of success. For instance, the Republic of Korea was invited to the G7 summit for 2 consecutive years. Moreover, the UNCTAD, a UN body working to close gaps between nations, recently reclassified the Republic of Korea as a developed economy. It was the first time that the Intergovernmental Organization upgraded a member's classification since its establishment in 1964. The bridges the Republic of Korea has built are shining even brighter among the global economic challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. The world recognizes that the Republic of Korea's swift and effective measures against the virus minimized the impact on its economy and enabled the economy to bounce back from the crisis.
Korea has executed an impressive strategy in its immediate response to the COVID-19 crisis, a strategy that reflects the learning and capacity it has built through its previous crisis responses. Korea's swift and effective measures to contain the virus and protect households and businesses limited the damage to its economy, placing it among the fastest recovering OECD countries.
The Republic of Korea plans to donate a total of $200 million to the COVAX AMC by next year, and will continue to seek an active role in ensuring a stable supply of vaccines to developing nations.
선진국과 개도국이 함께 공유할 수 있는 협력과 공생의 비전을 제시하고 실천하는 데 선도적 역할을 하겠습니다.
The world sees the Republic of Korea as a role model for economic development. As one of the world's 10 largest economies, we shall work towards achieving common goals shared by the world and play an even more prominent role in the international community.
It was the early 2000s, and the world was about to be introduced to a phenomenon that would change the music industry forever. The Korean wave, also known as K-pop, was about to take the global stage by storm. In the small country of South Korea, a group of talented young musicians had been honing their skills in the local music scene. They were a group of K-pop idols, trained in dance singing and songwriting, with the goal of becoming stars. The first group to make a name for themselves was Seo Taeji and Bose, who released their debut single Nan Rayo in 1992. But it wasn't until the late 1990s and early 2000s that K-pop started to gain popularity worldwide.
The turning point came in 2000 when TVXQ, a group of 5 talented bows, made their debut with the single While. Their catchy melody and synchronized dance moves quickly gained popularity among Korean fans, and soon they were performing sold-out concerts in Japan and other parts of Asia. But it was not until the rise of Girls' Generation in 2007 that K-pop truly became a global phenomenon. The group's debut single Into the New World was a huge hit, not just in Korea but also in China, Japan, and other parts of Asia. Their catchy melodies and high-energy performances soon made them one of the most popular K-pop groups in the world. The Korean wave continued to grow, with more groups emerging and gaining popularity worldwide. Groups like Super Junior, SHINee, and Wonder Girls became household names in Asia and beyond. The music industry was changing rapidly, with K-pop becoming a major force in the global market.
But it wasn't just the music that was captivating audiences. The fashion, dance moves, and hairstyles of K-pop idols were also gaining attention worldwide. Fans began to emulate their idols' styles, from sleek haircuts to trendy clothing. The influence of K-pop on fashion and pop culture was undeniable. As K-pop continued to spread globally, it began to attract fans from all over the world. The music industry was no longer just about American or European pop stars. Korean artists were now making waves on the international scene. The success of K-pop led to a surge in interest in Korean culture as a whole. Fans began to learn more about Korean food, movies, and television shows. The Korean wave had become a cultural phenomenon, with K-pop at its core.
A nation united. As I look back on this journey through Korean history, we're struck by the resilience and determination of the Korean people. From ancient kingdoms to modern-day advancements, Korea has always been a nation that thrives on unity and perseverance. Despite the challenges it has faced, Korea remains a beacon of hope and inspiration for us. Resilience. Korea's history is marked by division, war, and hardship. Yet, the Korean people have consistently shown remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. They've adapted, innovated, and persevered through it all. This teaches us the importance of being strong and resourceful in the face of challenges. Cultural heritage. Korea's rich cultural heritage is a testament to its ability to preserve and celebrate its traditions. From its ancient kingdoms to modern-day K-pop, Korea has maintained a deep connection to its roots. This highlights the importance of honoring and embracing one's cultural identity. Unity. The Korean War and division serve as a reminder of the devastating consequences of conflict and division. On the other hand, the reunification efforts and the growing global influence of Korean culture demonstrate the power of unity and cooperation. This lesson emphasizes the importance of building bridges and working together towards a common goal. Innovation. Korea's rapid industrialization and technological advancements are a result of its ability to innovate and adapt. The country's willingness to adopt new ideas and technologies has propelled it to become a global leader in various fields. This teaches us the importance of embracing change, taking calculated risks, and continuously learning. National identity. Korea's complex history has led to a strong sense of national identity and pride. The country's ability to maintain its unique culture while adapting to external influences is a testament to its strength. This lesson highlights the importance of understanding one's identity and finding ways to maintain cultural integrity while embracing globalization. These lessons from Korean history have left a lasting impression on me, reminding me of the power of resilience, cultural heritage, unity, innovation, and national identity.